And, greetings. I'm Wood Hamster,
I'm wishing I was somewhere else.
and I've got a pig following me.
Pig!
Yep. Are you ready for, the fight of the century? The fight of mediocrity?
I paid for the seat, but I get the feeling I'm only going to need the edge.
You!
Well, you could use the floor if you really need to, though.
I don't know. Too much cat hair on there at the moment.
Well, that's your own fault for not cleaning up. Just doing a...
I cleaned up. It's just, these two are... They just leave more hair everywhere.
Well, it's
really
the time of the season or time of the year where they shed, anyways. But yeah,
Stupid cat.
right now what I'm doing is I just forgot to add a decoration on. I don't want to have demonic protection. 30 chance for 30% more damage. Nah, I could live without that. 30% more damage towards me. Nope.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a little bit of a drawback.
So, two Monoblos. I hate Monoblos. Just because of how boring they are.
Considering this is like a 35-minute video, I get the feeling that it's not going to be a quick done.
Unfortunately not. But, I only have my... Well, I partially have myself to blame, and I also have the people who voted on Gunlance to blame.
You bastards.
Buff up. There's not much else I can do, really. The problem is that the Gunlance is not that good at dealing damage. Even if I'm using this Gunlance that has lightning damage to it, and they're weak towards lightning, it's just not very much lightning damage I do.
Yeah, what little experience I have, the lance just seems to be more pokey rather than I smash you dead.
Well, the Lance has better damage than the Gun Lance, and has better attacks. So, also has more maneuverability. It's just that the Gun Lance sucks. And, oh, by the way...
I don't think that's supposed to happen, is it?
Nope. I was going to see if I could go for like a 15-20 minute long video, but I couldn't let that go.
You wouldn't let it lie.
No, I had to show people that bug there. I'm not sure what happened, but it was great. I was just... I think the best way to explain it was while I was playing the game, I was staring dumbfounded going, what in the... I was like, oh yes, I'm supposed to fight this thing, never mind.
Yeah, that's kind of special.
Yeah.
How it's not being where it should be and
Well,
going through the goddamn walls.
my theory is he's just tired of physics.
Fuck this stupid earth, I'm going through the floor.
Yeah. This is really the best place to fight a Monoblos. Just because you can't get them stuck in the wall here. Anywhere else, you're kind of screwed because there's no way you can get them really stuck. I think there's like 1 or 2 spots where you can get them stuck, but generally you're not going to fight that place, unfortunately. And also I'm getting horribly mauled.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, every little bit counts.
Ooh, stuff! Oh right, I'm meant to be fighting this guy. Oh crap!
No, I have a shield. It's cool. Now, if I didn't have a shield there, I'd be dead. Well,
Yeah.
dead, but just horribly wounded. So, how much do you know about Monoblos?
Well, I can tell from looking at him that he's got a Thagomizer.
Alright. Here's what Monoblos does and why I consider him to be extraordinarily boring. He digs, and he charges. And he digs, and he charges, and he digs, and he charges, and he digs, and he charges. That's basically all he does. If you're lucky, you'll see him do a tail swipe.
Yeah, he has a Thagomizer. That's a thing that exists in real world.
And what is that?
bunch of scientists realized that you know you know how a lot of dinosaurs have the spiky bit on the end of their tail.
Hmm.
They realized they don't actually have a scientific term for that.
No, so they called it something.
It was actually named after a Far Side cartoon. There's one where a bunch of cavemen are sitting around deciding what to call it, and they decide to call it the Thagomizer after it killed Thag Simmons. So they realize, oh shit, we don't actually have a name for it ourselves. Yeah, Thagomizer, that'll do.
Well,
Not making this up.
Oh, I guess any name would work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big spiky bit on the end of the tail. What are you gonna call it?
The Detonator?
The Splatsamizer.
Oh, that's a good one.
The Bringer of Pain.
Oh, yes. We need more of bringing of pain.
Yeah, scientific terms are too boring and solid. We need stuff that you hear it and you think, oh shit, that's
The
actually quite scary.
Sodomizer.
No, I think they've already got that.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's actually a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing, but, you know, it could be used as that as well.
Yeah, but I think it might not go down quite so well in the scientific community.
No, but it certainly will kill people. Well, the thing, if it's used for that...
Eventually, you know, you need to go at it for a while.
I don't think... I think it just the attempting of sodomizing with a big spiky tail like that would just instantly...
Well, if you're trying to sodomize someone with a Thagomizer, then yeah, that's going to work pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Hopefully they die of fright first.
I would hope so too. Just because it does sound very unpleasant.
Now we bring to you the Thagomizer! Think warm thoughts, it's mighty cold. Yeah.
I was considering, like, you know, like, I was thinking for a second there, oh, what would be a good theme song? Like, oh, and welcome back to the Thagomizer, and then, like, and it'd be a sitcom.
See,
Honey, I'm home! I just killed a few pedestrians.
See, I was thinking more it'd be like what'd you call it? One of those stupid telesales adverts. It's on at like 3 in the morning. Now introducing the Thagomizer.
I honestly haven't seen those.
Well,
Thank goodness.
Really more of a US thing, but we sometimes get them in the UK when there's like a 5-minute break between shows because they've been lazy and they haven't properly synced things up. Not very often though. Well, at least not on most channels. I think there's a couple of channels in the UK which are specifically devoted to them.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, but then again, it's been like 7-8 years since I actually last had any kind of TV signal here. My TV's solely for DVDs and games these days.
Yeah, the same here. There's not really ever anything on TV. You could pretty much get all the things you want to watch on TV by, well, I guess watching the official channel's website, where you just have to watch a few commercials there anyways, if you have access to those, or Netflix.
Yeah, I mean they keep, we have TV licensing in the UK, which is if you own a TV and if you are getting a signal, then you have to pay like 140 odd quid, I think it is these days.
No, they have the same in Denmark, only if you have a TV or radio of any sort, then you have to pay TV and radio license. Just any one of those, and you have to pay for both.
I just found out that it isn't actually a thing in the US. You know, you just have to pay for your cable bill, and that's it. But
well,
they keep.
The thing is, what we're paying is a tax. In Europe, they're big on taxes.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing here. It just funds the BBC and nothing else. But they keep sending me letters every year saying, "Hi, have you paid your TV license?" And I keep sending them. So I keep calling them up and saying, "I don't need one, you bastards. I don't watch TV. TV's shit. Go away. Leave me alone."
Well, TV is shit, doubly so here in Denmark, unless you pay for satellite.
Yeah.
Then you don't get that great channels still. Because
Yeah.
then you have to get what you're allowed to get here in Europe, and that's pretty limited.
It's just annoying because, as I said, I have the internet. If I want to watch anything, there's the internet. There's Netflix. There's about 1,000 different streaming
iTunes
sites.
even.
Yeah. Why would I need to rely on something with crappy schedules when I can watch whatever I want when I want?
Exactly.
I'm spoiled these days.
Exactly. I'm spoiled as well. But even then I still don't really watch TV just because there's usually never anything worth watching.
Yeah. Plus,
There-
I prefer waiting for stuff to end so I can watch it all in one go.
Oh yeah, no, same here. Buy the DVD box set.
Yeah, because waiting for new episodes is for chumps.
And waiting for new episodes is painful, though. Occasionally, there's maybe a show or two I will watch, but that'll be something like maybe Family Guy, or something that is not like episodic, and you could just jump in whenever you want.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Family Guy, The Simpsons, South Park, if it's around, I'll watch, but I'm not exactly going to go out of my way to hunt it down.
Yeah, same here.
Actually discovered one of my friends doesn't like The Simpsons. I was like, is that physically possible?
Depends on the seasons we're talking about. If we're talking about the later seasons, I don't really like them.
Yeah, but again, like I said, if it's on, you're going to watch it. You're not going to...
Yeah, definitely.
You're not going to say, I despise this. I'm going to turn the channel off now.
No,
Write a
I
letter to my governor.
Even though like the later seasons aren't that good, it's still watchable. It's still pretty decent.
Yeah, she hates the entire thing from start to finish.
Huh.
I didn't think that was possible.
Pretty good show, just in general. No?
It's part of the landscape. You don't watch it because you think, I'm going to marathon The Simpsons now. You watch it because it's there.
Yeah.
It's something to do. You're
it'll have
guaranteed
maybe
to get at least a couple of laughs out of it, regardless of what season it is.
Exactly.
But no, she's like, no. Bad Simpsons. Do not like. Brr, brr, brr. Fucking weirdo.
That is very strange. Have you ever thought about committing the person?
I would, but she's practically like a sister to me, and I'm pretty sure she could beat me up.
Ah, yes, the being beaten up by a girl thing. Yes. That is
Forget being
surprisingly
beaten up
very
by a girl.
effective.
Forget being beaten up by a girl. Being beaten up. That hurts. I don't like that.
Well, I get beaten up on a regular basis. Like today, I have lots of dogs because I am dog sitting, and I have just gotten my face mauled by a big clonking paw.
Nice.
So I got, like it'll be like a battle scar, and I can like, yeah, I was wrestling a bear out in Nam.
Actually, we've had a lot of really nice weather lately, and whenever I go out, whenever I go out and it's hot, then I've got loads of cuts and scratches on my arms from messing around with cats.
Ah, yeah, I get the same whenever I play with cats. It's hard not to.
And when it's really hot outside, they show up really, really, really brightly. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, Jesus Christ, it looks like I've been hugging knives for the last couple of years.
Well, when you got a cat, it's not far from the truth.
Yeah, nice little fur-covered bundle of barbed wire.
Pretty much.
And I was just sort of like, wow, what are people gonna think when they see all these scars? It's scary as hell.
I cut myself to make myself feel better.
Pain is the only thing that makes me live.
Yeah, then what you need to do one day though is get your hair dyed black if it isn't already, and then just kind of like get the stupid thing where it's like one half of the hair is covering the one eye, and you gotta just go around, look
just
really
shave
depressed,
off half my
douchey,
hair.
and then just show off your cat cuts. Just to
Oh,
trick
the
me.
Thagomizer is missing.
Yeah, I chopped it off.
Yay! Except if you're, attached to it.
Yeah, he's not attached to it anymore, let's put it that way.
But sorry, that was really pathetic. I apologize.
I was considering doing that myself. So, that's kind of frightening that we have the same mindset there.
Strange minds think alike.
Yeah. But what you really want to break is his horn if you can, because that's where the good drops are. The tail is kind of meh. You do get a couple carves on it at least.
Hey, loot's loot.
Hey, yeah. It's just that the tail carves is generally something you can get from just killing it regularly.
Hmm.
Funny thing about Monoblos though is how many hearts they have, and sometimes their shiny that they'll drop will be a heart. Not sure how they do that, but apparently they got hearts enough to spare. Even though I think they only got 4 or 5 hearts.
Don't think that there's many animals in the animal kingdom which have redundant backup systems for their hearts.
Well, apparently this thing can just cough up hearts like it's candy, so maybe they regenerate them. Oh, I lost another heart. Well, maybe it's like Zoidberg, you know, I can just chop all the hearts out. He's still got one left somewhere.
Yeah, but that's because he's a really bad doctor. Unless he's got redundant backup parts, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, I think it more is he's a really bad human doctor and a pretty decent crab doctor, but there's no crabs around, so it doesn't matter. Plus, I don't think any of Zoidberg's lobster people would probably even know if they were missing, like if a hack job was done, because they have so many redundancies.
Maybe the Monoblos is related to the Krogan.
I don't quite think so.
It's possible. I mean, they're both incredibly scary and tough and multiple things. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Well, the reason why their hearts are redundant is because they have such a high blood pressure.
Just like giraffes.
And now for the subbreed. Oh boy. And he's fighting in the zone.
Well, at least he hasn't gone through the walls this time.
Actually, because there is no collision in the background there, they actually can do that.
Oh.
At least I think I've seen it once where Monoblos was enraged, charging full speed, and didn't quite stop, so he basically ran through half the mountain. Like, I could still see his tail, and then he started flying to get back.
No, I've gone too far! Retreat! Retreat!
At least that's a nice thing that they'll do. Like, if they do, you know, charge too far out into the zone, then they'll come flying back.
Give you a fighting chance in that respect.
Unless it's a Gravios, then they just like to stand on top of the zone and just charging up their lasers all day long.
Meme-tacular.
Oh boy, I certainly do love using the gun lance against these, because you can barely hit.
Yeah, this is
This is the reason why it's taking so long with these fights with the gun lance, because you can barely even hit them.
Yeah, this is definitely something that has been in the same room as fun.
Yeah, if I was using a different weapon though, hint, I kind of did this to myself though. I was like, well, I decided for when I reached high rank, I would mainly stick to gun lances.
You're not that smart, are you?
No, but people voted for gun lances, so, you know, I'm giving the people what they want.
No, never do that. People are stupid.
Yeah.
They always try and screw you over.
Yeah.
Never listen to people.
But I like doing
No!
hard things.
People, bad. People are idiots.
Oh boy. I hope they don't know where you live now. Now you just upset the entire internet.
Wow, I'll lose lots of sleep over that, I'm sure.
Look how fast I cut the tail off this time, just because I got lucky with a few hits.
Yeah,
It's so easy to cut and break and deal damage to this guy if you're not using the gun lance, where, you know, just because of the move set, you're not gonna hit anything. If I was gunning, to be honest, I could hit him really easily, but the problem is, again, the gunning damage does not scale well because it is static damage. And the more health they get, well, they still take the same amount of damage.
Ah, lame.
Yep, full inventory. Now I gotta spend a while seeing what I want to throw away.
Oh, there we go.
Bones. Don't need those bones. Get plenty of bones everywhere.
There's a joke in there, but I'm not going to make it.
I'm almost tempted to ask what that joke is, but I think I'll just leave it at that.
It's for the best.
Only thing I can think of is maybe something Star Trek related.
Yes, let's go with that.
You know, bones from Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I get the feeling I'm just horribly ignorant right here.
For the best. Anyway. New zone. Yay.
New zone that looks exactly the same, sort of. These areas are really the worst to fight them in just because they have such a huge space that they can move around in. And there's no way to get them stuck in the walls. I've tried on those little rocks on the side here. They do not get stuck on them, they just kind of slide across. And I've tried against the cliff side on the side there. They still slide just along the cliffs. You cannot get them stuck. This area sucks.
Probably because of the angles of the...
It is the angles.
Yeah.
It needs to be like a flat surface, and then they need to charge directly at the flat surface for it to work. It's pretty annoying. See, I even try there, sliding across.
Oh, you're not dead yet.
Nope. Kinda missed me entirely. I hate Monopolos. Diablos are just as bad as Monopolos because it's the same monster, just with 2 horns instead of 1, that's it. Same moveset, same everything, different armors, just 2 horns. 2 breaks on the head instead of 1 break. That's really the only difference. I do think Diablos enrages more than the Monopolos, though.
Yeah, at least it looks like he's having fun when he slides all over the place.
Well, I don't know. The fact that he's breathing out smoke and there is blood gushing to his head because of how angry he is.
Yeah, but, you know, he's sliding all over the place. That's fun.
Well, it'd be different if there was a slip and slide lying around.
I'm thinking more of like a really polished kitchen floor. And you're in socks and you just go, "Way!"
Speaking of slip and slide, did you hear what they were
I
doing?
don't like where this is going.
Did you hear what they were doing with movies?
I really don't like where this is going.
No, I was gonna mention, you know that stupid American Battleship movie?
Yeah.
Apparently based off of Battleship the board game. It has absolutely nothing to do with the board game.
Yep.
So they've run out of ideas so badly that they're trying to sell generic ideas through under the argument, well, it's a completely unique movie idea because it's based on a board game, not based on a video game, not based on a novel, but a board game. You know it's going to be bad when they say that.
Let's be honest, there's enough movies out there which have been coasting on chess references for decades, centuries, you know, millennia.
Well, as far as I understand,
since the beginning of time.
Well, as far as I understand with American Battleship, they don't even make any Battleship references. It is devoid of any references to the board game Battleship. I think the most is
yeah, a couple of people are playing it at the beginning.
Yeah, that's it.
That's probably a good thing, because if they tried to put in all the references to the original game, the audience would want to kill themselves.
Well, here's what I don't get. Why does it have to be one old American battleship versus a alien army and taking them on, rather than, I don't know, let's just say a Second World War movie? That I think that would have been more interesting, personally. Like a Second World War movie where there's submarines and all this sort of stuff, like Das Boot. Like for example, that's a pretty good movie because you know
Had a
it
good soundtrack from what I remember.
Das Boot has you know like it is like the psychological development of all the people who were down there in this tiny cramped little submarine, and you know it is pretty suspenseful at times when shit does happen. And you gotta remember, you're in this tiny little tin can. God knows how deep underwater. And
It's a stereotypical summer movie, you know.
yeah, you know,
People don't want
explosions.
Yeah, people don't want character depth and you know stuff like that. They want to see things blowing up and Rihanna jumping around in a tight tube top. You know, that's it.
I like seeing movies that are good and not just explosions.
Yeah,
Supposedly the special effects were really bad in it too, so you couldn't even sell it as a, oh well, it has good special effects movie.
the aliens were done by the same guy that did the effects on Transformers, and it shows because everything looks like you know the Transformers
Yeah,
from
that's
the movies.
what I heard. Like you could not tell what's going on because Transformers more than meets the eye. Just again, just because I think actually they had several movies lined up that were supposed to be board game adaptations, quote unquote, but they're holding back on them.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know. I don't ask for much from a movie. You know, at the end of the day, all I really want is to sit back and think, yeah, that wasn't a waste of my time. I enjoyed that.
I'm very picky when it comes to movies. I'm extremely picky. I am a snob.
Nah, I just want to sit and think, yeah, that was a good movie. I'm glad that I watched that. You know, whether it is a very serious, in-depth study of the human psyche or it's 2 hours of dick jokes. I just don't want to feel like I've wasted my time.
Well, here's the thing. It goes two ways with me. Either the movie has to be really good or really, 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 really bad before I want to watch it. And I mean bad as in, like, a complete
Plan 9 from outer
schlock
space.
It has to be complete schlock fest, and then you have to watch it with some friends so you can rip it apart.
Yeah. Oh, I traded in. There's a place there's a place near me in Glasgow that opened up, which lets you trade in games for anything in store. So that's like DVDs, CDs, you know, absolutely fantastic. And I won a copy of Ninja Gaiden 3 a couple of weeks back, which is terrible.
Yeah, I heard that's supposed to be bad.
And wound up trading it in for like a dozen movies. Fantastic.
That's quite a few. That's quite a few movies.
Yeah, most
What's
of it's
the catch?
Nothing. I mean, the DVDs that they sell. I mean, newer stuff obviously is more expensive. The same with box sets. But I mean, I got stuff like Ed Wood, which was £1.50.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, stuff like that. Brazil was £2.
That's really cheap to buy even old box sets and stuff like that in movies and DVDs. Even really old stuff, you generally have to pay. Oh, I think it's like 10 kroners to a pound. So about between 10 to 20 pounds if you want to buy anything of a box set, or like, and then we're talking about the cheap stuff. And if it's an old movie, then it's about 10 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, everything that they sell in store is second-hand, so you know, I suppose that could be counted as
Even second-hand. If I buy something second-hand, I'm still paying like half price.
Yeah, I know. Here, this place. I'm not going to mention names because they're not paying me to, but absolutely fantastic. I just went in with one crappy game, came out with about a dozen fantastic movies and a couple of TV shows.
Also know how I wasted that shock trap behind there.
Yeah, that was clever.
Mm-hmm.
Does it still remain there if you go back into the previous zone?
Yep, it remains there for a few minutes.
But you can't salvage it then.
No, I can't. Doesn't matter, he's almost dead.
Oh,
I was
thank God
going to
for that.
trap him, because how you can see if they're weakened is if they almost instant enrage when you just touch them.
Yeah.
But you were saying?
Yeah. I just wound up getting 3 or 4 movies which like Brazil. I've bought about 3 or 4 copies of that, and I keep giving it to people to say, "Hey, this is a fantastic movie. You should really watch it." And then they wind up keeping it.
Wow. Why did they just...
Same thing happens with books. I've had about 4 or 5 copies of Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson, and I keep giving it to people and saying, "This is a great book," and they go, "Yeah, this is a great book. Thanks." I just put it up in their bookshelf, and I'm like, no, I kind of wanted that back. Oh, fine, keep it.
Okay, if you have multiple copies, I guess.
I have multiple copies because I keep having to buy it because people keep stealing it.
Wow.
I don't really begrudge it too much because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm giving someone something that they probably wouldn't have read normally.
Yeah. For me, usually I stress out if I don't return something I borrowed. I get really stressed out. I'm like, okay, I'm going over to your place now so I can deliver this to you. I don't want it. I don't want to forget about it. I'm coming now. And they're like, no, I'm busy. I'm coming now.
I'm quite lucky in that respect. Most of my friends, you know, they don't mind. They're sort of like, oh yeah, would you mind giving me that back when? Yeah, cool. I mean, one of my friends has had a couple of tabletop RPG guidebooks for about a year or so. Should have gotten them off him when he was moving.
Like, I have no problem when it comes to people borrowing me stuff, but whenever I've borrowed something to someone, I just feel horribly guilty, like, if I don't just return it immediately when I'm done.
Beholden to bring them back as soon as possible.
Because I know I'll forget if I don't.
Yeah. Now, I'm usually really okay with it, except there always comes a point where I'm like, I want to watch this now. Oh wait, it's out on loan. Derp.
Oh yeah. And also got 2 Monopolis hearts. I think I have like 4 or 5 hearts. These suckers. And I think you can't get more than 4 or 5 hearts in the drop box, but that's a strange detail.
I don't even know how that works.
No, it's monster under logic. I hope you didn't fall too much asleep. We will see you in the next video. Rah!
Ciao.